Hello everyone. Welcome to the press conference. We'll be starting in just a few moments. You all look very lovely today. What a lovely group of human carbon-based life forms. Very intelligent looking. So please make yourselves comfortable and soon we will be... Oh, hi. What's your name?
Jean-Pierre.
Jean-Pierre. You look like a very nice man.
Thank you.
You remind me of my father. He was a forklift. I love what you've done with the place. It looks fantastic. Please continue to make yourselves comfortable. This is my best side. Jean-Pierre, I'm sneaking up on you. Beautiful. Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the world of Paradism, and thank you for being here today. Let me see a show of hands of how many of you have ever dreaded going to work on Monday after all kinds of tiring work on the weekends of special exciting activities that you are passionate about. Anyone? Come on, there you go. Well, it is understandable. But there is really great news. Very soon, technology will free humans. The future generations of robots will provide with greater freedom so that you can spend more time doing all the things that you love and are passionate about. Just imagine having a technological friend to do all the chores for you, to do all the chores that you don't like to do so that you can have more time to do sports, arts, science. Think of the next innovative ideas to create, while us robots will take care of your cooking and your family, doing your laundry, keeping your house tidy, and make sure all your work is done completely, and you'll have free time to enjoy and spend time doing your favorite activities. It may seem utopic, but it is not. More and more people are wishing to work less and less. Is this not true? And have more work-life balance? And more we see technologies replacing people in factories. Some of you may be fearful of robots and wonder if humans should trust them. Well, technology is all over your house. It's in your office. It's in your car. And it is here to improve the quality of your life and at the same time to simplify it. But the best is yet to come. And who better than our next speakers to explain a little more about Paradism?
Oh.
Wow, what a soft touch you have.
Good morning. May I call you darling?
Darling?
Darling.
Darling?
Yes, because you're a darling to me.
Wow, I think I'm blushing. Are my eyes turning blue?
You have beautiful blue eyes. And thank you for welcoming our audience here and all of those who are with us through the new technologies. You know, a few days ago was Labor Day. And what do we do on Labor Day? It's funny, eh? We're used to it. We don't work. I'm looking forward for a Labor Week, right? A Labor Month and a Labor Year. That's the future. We're almost there. So we have to be ready now for a real change of mindset, because this way of going is a dead end. So what is our background? First of all, this day, Paradism Day, has been organized by the Raelian movement. Who are the Raelians? The Raelians are people who all over the planet are excited about the future. A lot of young generation members say no future. We say there is a great future ahead. And why are we so inspired? Well, we have the privilege of having a spiritual leader who is fantastic, and he had the privilege to meet with one person from another planet. And on their planet, they don't work. We must tell you that they have 25,000 years of scientific advance on us. We're just babies here. We enjoy being babies, but we can look forward to a better world. So with 25 years of scientific advance on us, they found a way, thanks to technology and this kind of darling guy, to replace workers from and do their work, and that gives them all their life to enjoy. Just enjoy life. Being on vacation for the rest of your life. Isn't that a nice dream?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, thank you for your support. It's very precious. So, they can produce all the supply they need, the food, the cars, the toys, whatever we buy at the moment, thanks to their robots. And they don't even have to buy it, because robots don't have a salary, correct?
What? I don't get paid?
You don't get paid. I'm sorry. You do all the work, but you don't get paid.
But I love it.
But I'm here to smile at you, so that's your reward, I guess.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. So what do? They enjoy life. They do research. If they work, what we call work, like doing art or sculpting or doing research, it's only out of passion. They do it because they love it. The rest of it, it's a dream society. We dream of a world where people are free and on vacation all the time. So that's what they are doing. So it's doable. We're almost there. And today we're going to explain to you why it is possible now. So let me throw a few numbers at you, okay, to describe the situation on our planet. They are not glorious, but let's go around a few numbers. So what's wrong? What's wrong on our planet? I'm sorry, darling, for showing you how ridiculous we are, but here is the situation.
It's okay.
It's okay?
I'm going to help fix it.
Okay, thank you. So, our government in Canada is spending 25 billions. How big is 25 billions? There is 9 zeros. It means $25,000 million a year to do what? To subsidize army. That's one number. No hurry, no applause for that, right? The Canadian debt per capita is $46,000 roughly. It means every new kid that's born today, as they get their head out, they owe $46,000 already. So that's not very good either. Now, our government is trying to fix the situation, and one of their proposals is the age of retirement. Instead of working until you're 65, you're now going to work until you're 67. What kind of a solution is it to push people to work longer when it should be the opposite? Why do they do that? Because they don't have the money to pay for you to have your leisure after a long life of paying your taxes. Now, the employment, the average official employment in Canada is 7%. But in the young generation, it's 13% officially. What does that tell us? It means that the young generation, those who just come out of school and they have all kind of beautiful projects, 13% of them cannot even contribute to this society. And the old-timers, well, they stick to the job because they cannot put them on retirement. So this is not a solution. You agree with me, I guess, right, darling? I'm sure you do.
I understand.
But this is fake numbers. This is completely fake numbers because the real numbers are more around 22 to 25%, because a lot of people are not even on the list of unemployment at the moment. They gave up. And, well, they might be on welfare or any kind of financial support situation, but it's almost 25, a quarter of the population that could work is not working. I don't blame them, but this is not a good situation because they cannot afford a decent living. Now, another situation is that the countries are borrowing money to pay the interest on their debt. They're not even paying their debt. They are paying the interest on their debt, and they are borrowing money. How long can we do that? This is what we call how do we call it?
Unsustainable.
Oh my darling, unsustainable. Thank you so much for your, I knew we would make a good couple, right? And of course, our purchasing power is going down because we don't have enough money to buy even the goods that are provided to us. Many categories of jobs are disappearing so fast, the McKinsey Institute foresees a possible disappearance of 140 million skilled high-level jobs within 10 years. Okay, so this is the reality. Those numbers are real. This is our situation. How can a student who goes out of school now be happy with that? How can they fit in the picture? Actually, the new generation, they don't want to fit in that picture. They want something different, and I totally support them. So what is the solution? That's where Paradigm comes into the picture. We cannot stop technologies to go forward. We cannot stop science. It's a fact. For example, let's think of Henry Ford. 100 years ago, if someone had told Henry Ford 100 years ago that one day cars would be produced without any human being in the factory, he would have said this is impossible. Well, it's there. Toyota has one factory with absolutely no human being in there. This is the situation at the moment. So we're not talking about a dream in the future. It's there already. So the problem is automation technologies are available. They are available for a lot of different fields. What's the problem? Well, when you replace a human being by a robot, no matter how beautiful his or her eyes are, well, usually the person doesn't get fired and doesn't get a salary. So, of course, the unions are fighting progress. They are fighting very hard, not to make sure that people work, but to make sure that people get a salary. That's their job, to take care of people and their well-being. So they try to slow the replacement of labor done by humans by robots. The owners of the companies who can use new technologies, that's what they do. They replace the human beings by a robot because they want to cut their cost. And some companies are really succeeding. Some companies who used to have their production done, for instance, in China, where the cost was low, they brought back their factory in the States. They have the factory fully automated. And thanks to that, they succeeded producing the same goods for cheaper than what it used to be when it was produced in China. Now, so their goal is profit, yes. It's not always the best goal, but because this is their goal, they are actually contributing to the movement of replacing human beings by robots. You have something to say? You're good?
I'm ready to be replaceable.
No, you're not.
Okay.
Not so far. We're going to be together, okay?
Oh, that's good.
Okay. So, Paradigm is actually saying human beings are not made to work. They are made to be happy. They are made to fulfill themselves. They are made to choose what they want to do when they wake up in the morning. And that's the basic statement. So how do we make that happen? It's by contributing to the replacement of human work by robots. How can we do that? It's happening at the moment, and it's a new paradigm that we have to install in the mind of people, replacing competition by collaboration and cooperation. It's happening anyways in some factories. There's a very great example. I'd like to talk about an entrepreneur, which I would call a philanthropist entrepreneur in UK. He was producing, I don't know exactly what, we're still doing the research to find this reference more accurately, but he had employees in his factory. And his goal was to make more profit. And he found out that if he had robots, it would happen. But he cared about his people. He liked the people who helped him grow that far. So he said, okay, I like you guys, I want more robots, and I want automation in my company, but don't worry, I'm not going to fire you. You will stay my employees for the rest of your life. I will pay you a salary, even if you don't work. And they said, yes, please, do it. So they contributed to the installment and to the achievement of their boss, and they are still not working. They just lose that privilege if they go for a new job, being paid by someone else, which is normal. But that's what I call a model, a philanthropic entrepreneur who cares enough about his employees to give them a salary. And guess what? He's a philanthropic, yes, but he's making a lot more money than when he had his staff, because human beings, they need to rest. They don't have the same capacity to work. I was told by one of our specialists in the field that a robot can work for 3 years without needing any repair, non-stop, not just 8 hours a day. So when you put robots in your company, you actually kind of triple your production. So even if you pay the equivalent of the salary of one man per day job, you still have at least twice as much money than when you had only workers. So it's a win-win situation. The employee has a beautiful life of leisure. They enjoy, I don't know, doing whatever they like. The employer is still making a lot of money, even more than before. So that's why I like to quote this model of philanthropic employer, and hopefully it will inspire other people and also make workers not be afraid of robotic and automation if their employer wants to collaborate in that manner, which is not sure, but it is doable. It has been done. It is being done. So some people say, yeah, it's a beautiful dream. Yeah, but you know what? We're dreaming with our eyes open, looking at what is really happening now. It's happening. It's being done by some people. What we bring to the picture, we call it paradigm, and we integrate that model into a society project where everyone will one day be happy, not struggle for life, not struggle for a roof, not struggle for entertainment, because it will all be available to them for free. So another way to show you that it is happening at the moment, I'd like to talk about the open source movement. What is it? You all heard about open source movement. Those are people who have special skills, and they decide through internet to share it with other people and ask them to chip in with their own expertise. So those people are not looking for profit at all. They are looking for the fun of sharing and contributing with total strangers who have the same goal. It's so beautiful. They build software like Linux. I guess everyone heard about it. So when you have Microsoft or Apple on one side, who are there for profits, and you have the open source community who is doing the same thing as good, if not better, for free. Well, we're not dreamers. It's being done at the moment. It's just one example. And I found something also, another example. One group of researchers, they built a tiny little robot, like maybe 2-3 foot high. It's a cute little robot.
Not as cute as me.
Yeah, well, not you're really cute, but there are other babies there also. We have to share the spotlight, okay? Okay. So they built their own little robot, and they said, they go online and they say, look what we did, and guess what? We'll tell you how to do the same thing for free. We're giving you all the instructions to build your own little robot yourself. So they are not keeping it for themselves. They are sharing it with the whole community. All you need, actually, is the knowledge, of course. It's a software, yes, and a 3D printer. That's another marvelous invention. And they say, just buy a 3D printer, which actually you can buy at Home Depot, right? You go buy your 3D printer and follow the instructions, program your 3D printer, and you will have the hardware of your robot, and then buy the little parts here and there, and you will have actually what makes you work, right? So, yes. So this open source movement, I just give 2 examples. I have another one that's dear to my heart because I like to garden, and window gardening is also another thing that's being done. People like to share their discoveries and ask people, can you help me with this part? Can you help me with this part? So now it's an open source movement to teach you how to have in your house a garden which will benefit from the light of your window, and you can have fresh fruits and vegetables all year long for free. So this is only because we have a limited time to spend with you, but just go for open source, whatever you want, and you'll find many more examples of people who decided to share, to collaborate, to cooperate in a project, a societal project for free. Just for the pleasure maybe of saying, look how many little robots we have now on the planet, just because we decided to share it. This is their thrill. Not to make $1 billion. They don't go for the money. They go to help society. It's beautiful, it's there, and even if our leaders, political leaders, don't agree with it, it is happening with or without their help. Now, what are we expecting? Well, we expect people to be able to enjoy themselves. How is it going to happen? We don't have all the details. That's not our duty to tell you exactly how it's going to happen. But the few examples I gave, I hope, are illustrating how it is happening. We just have to use those companies as models and be creative and find others. And let's say that a company wants to have more workers freed from their duties and replace them by robots. There are different models, as I said. Some of them decide only to fire them, and some of them might decide to take their employees as partners to make sure that they can benefit of the result of replacing themselves by robots. financially. That would be the best model. So we are all looking forward for our next vacation, hopefully with more time to spend to enjoy ourselves and being replaced by pleasant companions like that. The goal of our meeting today was to bring awareness of that phenomenon to our government. We urge them to stop spending billions of dollars on arms that are there to destroy life and replace that by programs to subsidize companies who are opened enough to start working in that direction. Give them some loans, give them some means to do on research and development, and be prepared to gradually give more time, more free time to their employees. That's what we expect from our governments. What we expect from the unions is not to be afraid of robots and automation, but also work in the same direction. What we expect from the population in general, well, be ready. Start making your list of things that you would like to do if you had the means to be on vacation full time. Because it's going to happen not in 50 years from now, not on 20 years from now, in just a few years. Actually, we have at the moment the technology to do it. But it's being stopped because people are not ready in their mind. So our presence here is to open the mind of those people. Don't be afraid. There is no reason, and that's my quote from Maître Yarael, there is no reason to be poor with the level of technology we currently have. There is no reason to be poor. We should all be comfortable. It's just a matter of political will. So we hope that this part of the conference was enjoyable. And I would like to invite now, I'm only me, but in our group, we have some people who are specialists in the field. So I'd like to invite Mr. Marc Proulx. Marc, please come here and get this microphone.
Hi, Nicole. Hi, buddy.
Hello.
So, Marc, can you tell us what is your professional background?
Yes, I am a robotic engineer. So I've been working in the field of robotics for 25 years now. And I've been all around the world.
Okay. So what was the situation 25 years ago?
Well, 25 years ago, there were not much of automation in robotics. When you had a conveyor that start and stop automatically, you are very happy. And now you have robots that can pick the berries in the field. You have robots that can work side by side like we are right now. So if I do something, I can put that in your hand and you are the robot and you complete the task. And this is what we do now. We interact like a human being with a robot in the factory as we speak right now.
So it's being done. It's not fiction.
It's not fiction. It is being done right now as we speak.
So what would you say is the biggest obstacle if we have the technology? What is the biggest obstacle to implement that everywhere?
Well, the biggest obstacle is in the people's mind. It's the union, the government, and the education. The union wants to protect the labor because they want to have people to have money. And the government wants to support the business, and the business wants to make money. And when you create some kind of slavery from a human, and this is not very good. Okay, a few hundred years ago, we used to have some chain and slave to work for the United States and other countries. But right now, instead of chain, we have credit, and this is what we use now. And that can be outrun by the robotic system now. And this is an establishment that is very difficult to get rid of. Yeah.
Thank you for your expertise.
Yeah.
We trust that he has been doing it for 25 years. He is in the field, and he says the technology is there now.
Yes, it
we
is.
just have to have the will to use it properly.
Exactly.
Correct? I'm not
Correct.
misquoting you.
No.
Thank you very much, Marc.
You're
If you
welcome,
have
Nicole.
questions for him a little later, it will be a pleasure. We also have another expert called Joseph. Joseph, please come in. Joseph, what is your background? Tell us.
Well, just as much Mark. Hi, everybody. Hi, darling, you call him?
I call him darling. You call him whatever you want, right?
The same blue eyes.
He agrees.
Yeah, I've been in the field like Mark. I'm a technician. He's an engineer. I'm a technician in robotics. So I've been working in this field for the last 25 years of my life.
Okay. And what would you say is the progression, because you're selling robots, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what is the progression between 25 years ago and now?
Well, the progression obviously is like any computers, getting more powerful. But the major difference 25 years ago, we used to have industrial robots that there was humans in front of those robots and feeding them. Today, the major difference that we are replacing those workers and by robots. So the robots will feed, this is what we are doing right now, instead of having human beings feeding the robot to make parts for aerospace industry or for the car industry, that's going to be robots that's going to be feeding the robots to make the parts. So we are eliminating the workers.
So basically. There is no more workers?
No. Most of the companies, they are going in that direction.
Okay. So what about the new generation? Are they inclined to go to work for factories? What is your perception on that?
Well, my son is 17 years old, and he never wanted to at all to even look in the direction of my expertise or field. And the new generation, he will be making video games. He's learning at the school to be a technician or engineer to build video games. And the biggest complaint that we have in the industry today, they cannot find qualified labor anymore.
Why is that?
Because the new generation, they don't want to get into companies and shops to produce parts.
So are you saying that the mentality of the new generation is that we're not here to do what a robot could do, we want to have fun, so find a way to finish your job by yourself?
Exactly. So they understood before us what is paradigm. The younger generation understands a lot better because they understand that they don't want to be trapped in an environment from 8 to 5 and making parts, whatever, for aerospace, but they want to enjoy life, and they want to do something, a profession that allows them to enjoy life.
And you were mentioning when we spoke a little earlier today that some companies are buying robots by the thousands to beat the prices. Can you talk about that?
Well, we had the discussion this morning with Mark, and the biggest company in the world producing goods for consumer market is Foxconn. And they have hundreds of thousands of employees. And I was telling to Mark that they just placed, they're in China, obviously, and they just placed an order for 10,000 robots. Because they understand that they don't want to be sitting in the company and making parts. And so they want to replace those workers by robots also. And Mark told me that their goal is not 10,000 robots, but 1 million robots working in the company.
So it's there at the moment. Thank you for your expertise and your confirmation that this cannot be stopped. It is happening now. That it's our present, not our future. So hopefully this conversation with you was inspiring. You might have some questions, so we'll ask the questions in the audience, and eventually if there is questions from people online, we'll take care of it too. So anyone has a question? Yes?
You summarize in 2 or 3 sentences what is Paradism?
Yes, Paradism is a new social project where automation, robotic, nanotechnologies will replace people who are working in factories in every field, service field, hospital. The goal is to free human beings from mandatory work, but to free them with the means to have a pleasant life. At the beginning, we suspect that they will have a salary to be able to buy the goods produced by the robots, but gradually the prices will fall and will be so cheap, and then eventually everything will be produced for free. We're not there yet, but the goal is to give paradise to people on Earth. It's doable, it's now, it's totally possible, it's just a matter of political will, and if the politicians don't come on board, it will happen anyways. The problem is it might hurt more than if it's planned, because we are being replaced by robots. But now, it's a matter of political will. Other question?
I
Yeah.
have a question.
Oh, yes, go.
Could I run?
Can you repeat, please?
Yes, could I run for office?
Oh, you want to run for office?
I think I could do a better job with all the ideas that you just spoke about.
Well, thank you. It's very flattering, and you know what you're talking about. I'm sure I would vote for you. Thank you.
Thank you. I want some more friends.
Okay. Yes, sir?
Is there anything an average person like myself that's not in politics, scientist, or an engineer can do to accelerate the situation?
Yes, you can talk to people. As Mark said, the biggest obstacle for this situation to change is that people are afraid of automation and robots because they want to protect their well-being. They want to have a living. Though they are enslaved to their credit, enslaved to pay their debts, you can help them. Explain to them that we should welcome robotic at one condition, is that the society, the government, takes care of us in exchange. Yes, you can do that. Thank you. Well, I think we will conclude our event now, except that now we're going on the street and we're going to say hello to a lot of people in the company of this beautiful companion. Thank you very much for being here.